Hey everybody, welcome back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. And last time we found Espella's cat, and now we're going to the courthouse to try to cheer her up and talk to her about what happened, why she's being suspected of being the Grand Witch. And, also Professor Layton was summoned to visit the Storyteller, so he's gonna visit and see what the Storyteller wants. And they seem to think that he's involved in some kind of a crime. So anyway, let's continue this on. Can't help but wonder if Mr. Wright and Maya managed to visit Espella. The professor and I have been summoned personally to the Storyteller's audience room. I couldn't believe the creator of Labarynthia knows of the professor. I'm sure it's a trap. Be on your guard, Professor. Before we go to the Storyteller stuff, we gotta talk to Espella. Mr. Wright, Maya. Espella. So, this is the Death Knell dungeon. Looks more like solitary confinement to me. Don't worry, I'm fine, really. I was a little surprised at how hard the bed was, though. Espella. Oh, that's right, I have something for you here. The boss made it for you. Look, it's her special walnut bread. You should try it. Aunt Patty made that. For me? Thank you, Maya. We'll get you home soon, then we can all sit down and eat Patty's freshly baked bread together. Yeah, that'd be nice. We're gonna have you out of here soon, don't you worry, Espella. But are you sure you want to do that? What are you talking about, Espella? Do you really want to continue defending me, Mr. Wright? What? Of course I do. What made you say that? Do you both know what I've been charged with? You both know what I've been charged with, don't you? Sure we do. They're accusing you of being Espella, the source of all witches here in Labarynthia. That's right. And anyone who defends such a suspect will also come under suspicion themselves. People are likely to criticize you and make you suffer, all on my account. I can't ask you to defend me. I don't want you suffering because of me. Listen to me, Espella. We're already suffering just seeing you here in this prison. Do you honestly think we'd just stand around not doing anything? Mr. Wright. Hey, I think I get it, Espella. I bet you're just worried that Nick will slip up the way he always does. Huh? Trust me, there's nothing to worry about. The professor and Luke are on our side, too. Huh? No, that's not what I meant. I wouldn't think that at all. Mr. Wright, you were just amazing. You and Mr. Layton both. It was like you were working magic together. Well, that settles it then, Espella. And don't worry, we're going to be there for you, and we'll fight to the very end. The two of us, the professor and Luke, will all be working together on this thing, and we won't let you down. What's wrong, Espella? It's just that the only one who's ever been kind to me before was Aunt Patty. I don't know what to say. Espella, I'm not sure how to say this, but it seems that the townfolk are distancing themselves from you. It's as if they fear you for some reason. Yeah, I can't believe they'd all think a cute girl like you could be the Great Witch. Espella, we heard from the High Inquisitor Darklaw that there's a reason why people are so suspicious of you. If it's okay with you, we'd like you to tell us what that reason is. The reason the townsfolk suspect you, and why they're so distant. Alright, I guess I never had the chance to explain properly. Yeah? It's true that the townsfolk look at me differently. And the reason for that is because I am... Because she's what? Well, Professor, we've reached the library. The place where the Storyteller is waiting for us is east of here, isn't it? Indeed. According to the night, the audience room is just past the guard post. I wonder what the creator of Labarynthia wants to talk to you about, Professor. It's too soon to assume anything, Luke. But whatever it might be, I have a few things that I would like to ask him, too. We should be thankful for this opportunity that it has come so soon, even if it is part of some kind of scheme. Then let's go, Professor, to the audience room. Are there any hint coins here? Oh, we already looked for them. Moving on. Sorry if you don't like me looking for hint coins, but I'm gonna do it. Ah. Come on, I just saw it. Well, that's good enough for me. Ah, aren't you Herschel Layton, the Hatter? Well, I'm not a Hatter, although I certainly am Herschel Layton. I've been told that my presence is requested in the audience room. I've definitely heard something about that, but it's beyond me why. With all due respect, why would the Storyteller invite mere commoners to the audience room? Aren't people normally allowed to visit? Of course not. Both the audience room and the tower in which he resides are areas of strict surveillance. One does not simply visit the Storyteller. You get that? You get the reference there? Eh? Lord of the Rings? You get it? Did you say tower? The Storyteller's tower, naturally. Don't tell me you've never heard of it. He only comes out of his tower to appear before the people in his parades. The audience room is where the Storyteller comes whenever there's a parade. We, the Order of Knights, provide his protection from this guard post. We feel honored from his presence, even if he doesn't speak for us. I see. But it would seem we're extremely privileged to be invited here. Seems like that's what everyone's been telling you over and over again. Don't let it go to your head. Wait here while I open the gate. Come to think of it, during the parade, the Storyteller did seem to be held in high esteem by all of the townsfolk. Indeed, Luke. After all, he is the author of this town's story. So he is effectively like some kind of god. Like a god? Do you believe in God? No! Someone tell me this isn't happening! There seems to be some commotion over there. It's that knight. He's coming back this way and he doesn't look too happy. This is bad, really bad. What am I gonna do? What's the matter? Well, actually, Dark Hat, the gate won't open. It's broken and I can't fix it. So what happens now? I wish I knew. What am I gonna do? I need to do something. I can't keep the Storyteller waiting. If we do, there goes my career as a knight. Unless, aren't you two meant to be good at finding people? Finding people? I wouldn't say we're particularly good. Don't say that, I need your help here. There's one knight who's able to fix gates, but he's busy training with the other knights. I'd like to call him back here without disturbing the others, but in armor, they all look the same. The only way to identify him is to look for a knight with an unusually shaped sword. Unusually shaped sword? How interesting. This does seem to be up my alley. Professor, doesn't that mean... Yes, Luke, I have a puzzle boner. Indeed, my boy. It means we can tackle this the way we would a puzzle. So, would you find him? Okay, I'll see what I can do. It's lunchtime, and the knights are all eager to eat their share. They have all stabbed their swords into the massive piece of meat at the same time. One of the swords is not standard knight issue and has an oddly curved blade. Examine the blades to find the owner of the strange sword. Okay, so basically you just point at the guy that has this curved sword. And it seems like they're making it pretty obvious. That's straight, 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 this is... I guess I'm gonna need some hints here. Try using the memo function to draw a line from each of the knights to the points where the swords stick out of the meat. That's pretty much what I was doing, but you know, just without the they all look pretty straight. I mean, I curved that, but that was my bad. That one's straight. I'm not getting your point here. Take a look at the knight standing on the barrel. Okay, that one. If you follow his sword to the other side, you see this straight. Yeah, I just did that. Next, look at the knight standing on the ladder. He too has a straight sword. Only 4 knights remaining. So they're basically just gonna give it to you if you... Oh, maybe it's because it's sticking out the top of the meat? No, it said the barrel, and that's doing the same thing. Yeah, I don't want to get it wrong, so let's waste my hint coins. Both left. So it's either this guy or this guy. I think it's this guy. They're still not giving it up, really. I think it's this guy. This guy.
Let's see if I've proven myself. You should expect no less from a gentleman.
I'm still kind of second-guessing myself. Smallest knight. Okay. So it's only slightly curved. Thanks to you, Sir Hatter, I've been able to have it repaired immediately. Glad you were able to fix it. A puzzle like that is a piece of cake for the professor. As I suspected all along, you're certainly no ordinary gentleman. Sir Hatter Herschel Layton shall self-forth be allowed to pass through this gate freely. Thank you, kind sir. Please make your way to the Storyteller as swiftly as possible. Yeah, make me go back over there. Wow, no matter where I look, there are knights everywhere. Yes, indeed, the knights have their guard post on this side of the gate. Given the grandness of the scale, I imagine they are living here too. But I wonder exactly where around here we're supposed to meet the Storyteller. That knight said to go to the audience room, wherever that is. With a name as grand as audience room, you'd think it'd be easy to notice. Luke, can you see the long flight of stairs over there? I think we should go and take a look. A flight of stairs? Oh, I see it. There's also a building over there. It looks rather stately. Do you think that's where the audience room is? my boy. However, there seems to be something going on over there. And from the looks of things, I don't think we'll be able to just ignore it and stroll right by. At any rate, let's go and take a look. After that last puzzle, I need to re-up on hint coins. As long as I can keep around 55. Alright, perfect. How many times I gotta tell you? I ain't this suspicious guy you're after. And you expect us to believe you just because you say so, eh? You can save us all the time and trouble here. Just admit your guilt and be done with it. You gotta be kidding me. This is false accusation. Come on, why won't you listen to me? I admit my face may look a little scary, sure, but I'm telling you straight. My pals are always saying there's no one with a pure heart than good old Cutter. Oh, spare me. We're getting nowhere here. Hey, Knights. Yes, sir. Put this miserable wretch into solitary confinement. Yes, sir, Captain. Oi, oi, what are you doing? I'm innocent. Innocent, I tells you. You seem to have your hands full here. May I ask what happens? Hey, if it isn't you two. Do you mean to tell me you're the ones that the Storyteller has summoned? That's us, all right. So you can't go chasing us so around the way you did before. Ah, rats. By the way, Captain, what has this man been accused of? What has he done? He's guilty of carrying out a heinous crime of assault and theft. How many times do I gotta say it? If you want me, it's a false accusation. I'm totally innocent. Silence. Who else around here could have done it? Could you tell me a little more about this? Well, I had a feeling you'd want to know. You seem to like poking your nose into other people's businesses. A series of thefts have been occurring in this town, and at the same time, a suspicious figure has been sighted. Now I ask you, does this man not look suspicious to you? Because clearly it has to be him. You got it all wrong. I heard there was a thief in the area. That's why I teamed up with them townsfolk to keep a lookout for the blighter. And it ain't all. And I found a way to make sure every dang corner of the town was being watched. We placed ourselves in positions where we didn't obstruct each other's line of sight. Catch me drift? The suspicious figure you guys mentioned, ain't no way that guy was me. So you're saying you watched every part of the town, while at the same time, avoiding overlapping each other's search. That's impossible. You committed crimes and are lying to cover yourself. I wonder if you're perhaps mistaken. It might just be true. For example, if they position themselves like this. Puzzle time. Street patrol. There are reports of a thief lurking around in town center. Townsfolk are in charge of guard duty, and there are two conditions to their stakeout. They have a perfect view of all the streets. Their viewing range never overlaps. With that in mind, do you think you can place the townsfolk in their correct spots? Okay. I see. So yeah, you basically just have to have every square covered without overlap. Kind of want to know what each character does. Okay, they obviously have two ways they can look. Oh, he's got a short range. Okay. that a spot. Then there's that, which I'm worried about. Because all I got is her. She can't fit there. Yeah, I'm gonna need some hints here. Okay. Well, I had the right idea with him. No, I guess I didn't. He was in the complete wrong spot. I don't know what I'm even talking about. From the top rightmost square, count one square down and place a townswoman. Then again from the top rightmost square, count 3 stairs down and place another townswoman. Doesn't work. Am I misinterpreting what that's saying? Three squares left. Okay, that's what I was misreading. Locations where the townswoman should be placed. Okay, I should be able to figure it out from here. Easy.
I've already seen the answer. You should expect no less from a gentleman.
Excellent. Turns out the dubious-looking gentleman was telling the truth. I would never guess such a solution could exist. So, you believe me now? I was telling the truth. The real culprit must be still on the loose, going around stealing stuff in broad daylight. Men, looks like we have no choice to let him go. We better head back to the crime scene and go over it again with a fine-tooth comb. Yes, Captain. Well, I'm glad we were able to sort out this misunderstanding. I don't know who you are, but you're a bit too sharp to be some regular townsfolk. Not at all. We're nothing so special. Just a couple of regular English gentlemen. English, eh? Well, what's that? Your title? Well, whatever it may be, it's not normal to be summoned directly by the storyteller himself. It would appear that you're indeed something special. The storyteller's in the audience room. I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you. As for the audience room, it's in the building at the top of those stairs. That building up there, just as we thought. Thank you. Just mind your manners when in the presence of the storyteller, you hear me? If there's any sign of trouble, you'll regret it. And be on our best behavior. Please keep your hand off your sword. You're scaring me. Just goes to show how highly the knights regard the storyteller. Now then, let's move on, Luke. Right, let's go, Professor. The storyteller should be in here, right? I'm starting to feel a little nervous. This area is totally deserted. All I can hear is the wind. Looks as if not even the knights are allowed to come up here. He really is treated almost like a god. We must attack and dethrone him. I wonder if someone like that wants to talk to us about. I can make out the outline of a tall building in the fog. This could be the tower the knights spoke of. As long as I use 3 hints per puzzle. I can refresh. Whoops, dang it. Huh? Professor? The door won't open. Hello? Is anyone there? No reply. It appears there's no keyhole. This is no ordinary lock mechanism. Inviting someone to visit you only to lock them out? That's a bit rude. Just a moment, Luke. If you look closely, you'll see there's a puzzle built in there. I believe this may be a test, Luke, to determine whether we qualify for an audience with the Storyteller or not. That's a bit off, isn't it? When it comes to puzzles, we'll be glad to oblige, won't we, Professor? Indeed, my boy. Let's show our mettle. Panel of numbers. Numbers range between 4, 1, and 6. Touching the buttons in the touchscreen will increase and decrease the numbers. Arrange the numbers between 3, 3, 3 in only 4 turns. Yikes. You'll only press the bottom button once. Why not start there? Okay, top button doesn't need to be pressed at all. Okay. That'll go up to... Well, that'll make that one go up, but I don't want that to happen. You'll have to choose one and press it twice. So it's out of these 3. Bam.
Let's see if I've proven myself. That was indeed an intriguing puzzle.
Also, hitting the buttons at random can be
We
fun.
did it, Professor! That should open the door.
Maybe fun, but it's probably time-consuming.
It would seem that we have proven ourselves worthy.
Labarynthia's creator is waiting for us inside.
The creator of this town. I wonder what he intends to say. Are you all right, Luke? I imagine you must be a little nervous.
Who, me? Well, to be honest, I suppose I am. Just a little.
I only peed a little.
But don't worry, Professor. I can do this. Let's go. Let's meet the Storyteller.
Very well. Muster your courage. We're going in.
Right you are, Professor.
And thus the guests finally made their appearance. I bid you welcome to Labarynthia, the town governed by stories. I've been waiting for you, Herschel Layton.
Mr. Storyteller, could you make it so I stop pissing my pants so much? You've got to be writing it in your story like every page or so. Please stop.
I believe I should say, it is an honor, Mr. Storyteller.
You're the creator of Labarynthia. But why did you call the Professor here?
I have summoned you so that I may ask you why you are here.
I beg your pardon?
What are you talking about?
In writing the story, I provide everything, and in turn, take everything away. I give each person a story, and weave their intertwining webs of fate. However, it would appear that interlopers have found their way into the story. The two of you.
You mean to say that my presence here was not written in your story?
Precisely. And so I must ask you, exactly how did you find your way into this world?
In truth, we found ourselves here somewhat inadvertently. We were brought here by a book called the Historia Labarynthia. I am led to believe it was you who wrote that book. Surely you cannot deny it.
It would appear I have found it. The source of the corruption within my story.
Corruption?
In other words, you consider our presence to be a hindrance to your story. Is that correct?
Not only you. There was another man who tried to change the course of my story.
Ah,
You mean Carmina Accidenti?
Carmine. So, there is a connection between him and the two of you after all.
You mean Karma.
Oops.
Your presence here is, shall I say, a slight inconvenience. The story of Labarynthia is about to take a turn towards its grand finale.
grand finale?
Indeed, a conclusion that requires a climax of epic proportions.
Yeah, phrasing.
The identity of the great witch Espella is made public. She is tried in the court and finally destroyed. At last, peace will be restored to the town. The final scenario is close at hand.
The identity of the Great Witch? Do you mean?
Ah,
Meanwhile, it's true that townsfolk look at me in a different way. And the reason for that is because I am the storyteller's daughter. Yeah, what? Espella. You're the storyteller's daughter. I didn't see that coming. When I first came into the town, everyone was friendly. Perhaps they thought that if they got to know me, things would go well for them. That was the impression I had. Sounds like the kind of thing people would probably do. But obviously not me. I wouldn't do anything like that. No one's accusing you of anything, Maya. But unfortunately, things didn't work out the way people hoped they would. Well, people should realize that good things don't come easy. There's sometimes, like that last little outburst where you realize that the translators couldn't really translate something, so they just kind of had to fill it with something that doesn't really make sense. So that's kind of what you have to deal with when you play these kind of games. You kind of have to forgive them for it, because a lot of it's just weird Japanese, like, grammar jokes and things like that. Well, people should realize that good things don't come easy. And one day, I just happened to bump into me, and someone just happened to bump into me in town. I was knocked over. Later that night, the same person was attacked by a witch and killed by her magic. I don't know whether it was just a coincidence or not, but after all that, everyone's attitude towards me had changed. They started saying things like, it's best to keep away from her or you'll have a bad story written about you. All because I'm the storyteller's daughter. What is the storyteller thinking? What do you mean? Well, he has his daughter stuck in a place like this. And if he didn't write such a bad story, she wouldn't have to suffer like this. You have a good point there, Maya. Anyway, the investigation has only just begun. Espella, if that's okay with you, I'd like to ask you a few more questions. Of course, I'd like to help in any way that I can. Gotta gather as much information. This might be difficult for you to answer, but Why are you not living with the Storyteller? I mean, with your father. I did live with him before. We lived together on the edge of the town, in the Storyteller's tower. The Storyteller's tower. When I was little, he was very kind, and always listened to what I had to say. But then, at some point or other, he started to become distant. If you think about it, I guess it's only natural. Because he had to write for the story for every single person in the town. Espella. And as he became busier and busier, I was left alone in the tower. And that's the reason I decided to leave home with Eve and live in the town. I stayed with Aunt Patty and helped out at the bakery. Now you two are at the shop too, but my dad... What's the deal with the Storyteller? Can't believe he'd write a story where his own daughter is the Great Witch of Espella. Maybe the professor will be able to find out the Storyteller's true motives. Should ask Espella about... And what about Patty? Does she know anything about your past? Have you ever told her that you're the Storyteller's daughter? Yes, she knows. When the other people in town started avoiding me, Aunt Patty was the only one who stood behind me the whole time. Yeah, Patty's always looking out for you. There's so much I have to thank her for. It's been 5 years since I left my dad and started living with Aunt Patty. She's always been so kind. She's been like a mother to me. Now that you mention it, what about your real mother, Espella? Actually, I can't remember anything about her. According to my dad, she died in an accident when I was still young. And that's really all I know. He didn't tell me any more than that. I see. Espella, we believe in you. There's no way you can be the Great Witch Espella. That's right. That's why we'll find the Great Witch. The real Great Witch? But the Great Witch is only a character of legend. How can you possibly find her? Well, admittedly, at the moment, we have no real leads. Actually, to be honest, we know next to nothing about Labarynthia. That's Maya. Whatever. Getting tired. We were supposed to have been living with you for 5 years now. That memory turned out to be completely phony. Do you have any ideas at all, Espella? Anything you could give us a clue? I guess it's a lot to ask. All magic-related incidents are thoroughly investigated by the Knights of the Inquisition. And if there were any clues about the whereabouts of the Great Witch, then I believe they would have found them. Guess you're right. As far as I know, there's not a single incident that has remained unsolved by the Inquisitors. Wait a minute, that's not right. What is it, Maya? The part about there being no unsolved incidents left. What? Last night, me and Luke ran into High Inquisitor Darklaw. Wait, what? You saw High Inquisitor Darklaw? Yep, she said she was investigating some kind of incident with magic. She said that it took place 3 months ago, I think. Apparently, it's the only incident that has remained unsolved. An unsolved incident? Oh! Now that you mention it, I remember hearing rumors about such a case. The only magic incident in Labarynthia to remain unsolved, huh? Espella, about that incident, could you tell us about it in more detail? I'll have to ask you to stop right there, Defender. Visiting time's up. You're to leave immediately. No way, we just got to the good part. Mr. Wright, Maya, I really don't know much about that incident, but perhaps you could try asking an Inquisitor about it. Okay, Espella, thanks for the help. Alright, we'll see you again real soon. Keep your spirits up, Espella. Thank you, take care, both of you. Mr. Wright, Maya, they're both doing so much for me. I wonder if there's anything I can do for both of them in return. The Great Witch Espella, until now I hadn't given it much thought. The Great Witch, the legendary fire, flames, inferno. The number 13. 13 is unlucky. Luck, 4-leaf clover. Batman logicking. Oh my, what is this? My head hurts.
What was that? That inferno.
Having an acid flashback.
Were these things my memories?
This town's one and only unsolved incident of magic. I'm sure she said something about an alchemist who lost their life to a witch. An alchemist was attacked. That sounds like a serious case. You got that from High Inquisitor Darklaw, right? That's right. I was searching for Eve last night. I meant to tell you about it, but it totally slipped my mind. The only unsolved incident, huh? It involved magic, huh? An alchemist died, huh? That's suspicious, alright? This might be the lead that will take us to the Great Witch. Okay, let's get to investigating. We can do this thing. Yeah, so, I guess first we should check out the Inquisitor's Hall, right? We might just learn something there. Sure, let's get going. On the other hand, we may just learn how unwelcome we are there. Hey, come on, Nick. Enough of that wishy-washy attitude. Didn't even say anything. I don't think there's any... I've already been there. Oh no, it's the dog. Wait a minute, that aggressive bark. Please tell me that isn't... It's Constantine. He looks happy to see us. Wish I could say the feeling was mutual. Once bitten, twice shy. That pretty much sums me up right now. Really? I don't know. He's looking much more friendlier today, if you ask me. See, come on, Nick. Pet him just once. Let's see where this is going. Arr! Well, well, if it isn't Sir Blue Knight. Exactly what are you doing over there on all fours? Oh, Inquisitor Barnum. I'm glad to see you again. Actually, there's something I'd like to ask you about. Come on, Nick, stand up already. Oh, I'd like to meet that mutt's owner face to face. How foolish. Constantine happens to be mine, and a true knight's companion he is. He needn't waste time sinking his teeth into the likes of you. I had a hunch. So Constantine really is your dog, huh? I'd admire the nerve of this guy. Just sits back and lets his dog bite people. Or, I mean, me. Never mind that. What is it that you wanted to talk about? Make it quick, Sir Blue Knight. So, you Inquisitors are the ones who investigate incidents of magic in this town, aren't you? Yes, of course. If you don't mind, we'd like to ask you about an unsolved incident with magic. There's one thing you must never forget. The Knights of the Inquisition excel at their work. Right. All incidents of magic perpetrated by the witches are dealt with by the Inquisitors, without exception. Spoken with that usual calm and collected air of confidence. That's interesting. You see, we heard different. Apparently, there's one particular incident that still remains unsolved. Something about an alchemist being murdered. Ring any bells? What? Who'd you get that information from? Well, High Inquisitor Darklaw. Why the blazes didn't you say so? You could have saved us some time. How's this my fault? High Inquisitor has put me on the spot by leaking such information to the likes of you. Because that leaves nothing for it. I shall tell you the whole story, since I do not believe in doing things by halves. Please, go ahead. We're all ears. It was 3 months ago that an alchemist living near the town square was murdered. Sorry, Inquisitor Barnum, but I'm kind of lost already. Is there a difference between alchemy and magic? When it comes to something that difficult, it will do no good asking me. Huh? Seems that while the townspeople respected him, they also treated him with caution. They respected him. He used his skills to make medical concoctions and acted much like a physician. The efficacy of his cures was almost like magic. He was famous within his neighborhood. In fact, he was sometimes referred to as Dr. Belduke by the townspeople. At any rate, it's not safe to say that Sir Belduke was a witch. How can you say for sure? That's simple. Sir Belduke was a man. Well, can't really argue with that. I thought male witches were just called warlocks. Sir Belduke came to a mysterious end 3 months ago. A mysterious end? There were 2 things about his death that cannot be explained rationally. Firstly, the murder scene. His body was discovered in his residence, in the study. His room was locked. There was no conceivable way the crime could have been committed, except by witchcraft. Isn't that why they call what people call a locked room mystery? What? Oh, it's nothing, really. So what was the other mysterious thing? Secondly, Until then, all incidents involving witches had been foretold in the story. Foretold in the story. In other words, predicted by the storyteller. However, the murder of Sir Belduke did not appear in the story. Such a thing had never occurred before. So not only was this the only unsolved incident in Labarynthia's history, but it was also the only incident not to be predicted by the storyteller. This definitely sounds worth investigating. You certainly are an interesting one, Sir Blue Knight. Huh? You really think you can solve this incident alone when the Knights of the Inquisition have been working on it for 3 months? I'm not alone, I've got the good professor. I must say, that is some confidence. We won't know unless we try. You may risk becoming the target of some terrifying witch's vengeance. Hoping that was a joke. Well, suppose you may well take a look. Who knows, you may even find something. So Belduke's residence is just beyond the town square. Ask anyone around there and they'll soon point you in the right direction. Thank you, Inquisitor Barnum. So, Blue Knight. I believe our courtroom battles are far from over. Until we meet again in court. I'll see you then, Inquisitor. Alright, so now we're going to investigate the alchemist's mystery here, and see if we can out-knight the Inquisitor Knights. So hope everyone's having a good time with this. Things are getting pretty interesting in the story, I think. So yeah, hope everybody enjoyed, and we will have more of this on Friday. We have the finale of Maggie's Apartment tomorrow, so check that out, and we'll see you next time. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye.